Okay, so we have an ice starting location. It seems to have a lot of wetlands, which don't synergize with us very well, because apparently the Frostlings, you can see here the happiness modifiers. They like fertile plains, they dislike blight and subterranean, and they hate tropical and volcanic. So there's a lot of dislikes here. So I'm thankful that we got Cleanse the Land. This is going to be very useful. But they do like fertile plains. So eventually we will get the Terraformer ability. We're going to transform all these silly wetlands into fertile plains, hopefully. So before we start moving around, let's see, what do we have available to research? Bless would be great, but I would prefer healing, especially early in the game. But I'm going to start with Summon Wild. I want to beeline straight towards the Shaman ability. We want to produce Shamans as soon as possible so we can start dominating other wild animals. And furthermore, Summon Wild Animal could be used for scouting. Hopefully we get some kind of one of those... the animals that I really want are going to be the serpents. I think there's a reed serpent and the shock serpent and spiders. These are my favorite because they can actually evolve and they get better over time. The reed serpent is much better than the shock serpent, and the two spiders are pretty much almost the same. So let's go for this one. What do we have here? Ellen the Disruptor. She's an elf, which is okay. They can withstand cold. Unfortunately, she's a dreadnought, which is a... It's just not going to work with us at all. I want archdruids, theocrats, and sorcerers. They are pretty much the most synergistic with us. All the other classes can just go to hell. I don't need them anymore. I require another type of hero, and hopefully another one will appear shortly. Alright, so we start with a harpoon thrower, a raider, a couple harpoon throwers actually, and one ice skipper. So I was hoping to have a bit more than just one. These guys are going to be very useful at capturing animals because throw ice ball will actually freeze enemies. There's a chance that it will actually freeze, so very useful there. And they do have Shatter Strike, which would have worked against Scone Skin, plus 5 damage against it. But unfortunately, the Frostlings have only one unit which has this ability, so there's not a lot of synergies there, no matter how many Ice Scapers we have. And in fact, towards the end game, we're not going to be needing too many of these guys, because they're just like a tier 1, very weak unit. Look at this, very low health points. And they can easily die to, if we fight against 2 Draconian Flamers, they can pretty much slaughter my army. So this is not a very good unit in the late game. In fact, they pretty quickly become obsolete. Alright, so we're going to start building something here. I'm probably going to go with the builder because there's not a lot of production nearby, unfortunately. And then I'm probably going to go straight for the laboratory just to improve my research. We need a lot of research right now. So what kind of tiles do we have? We have a mine, we have some mana over here. We have another mana source there. And it looks like there's this goodie hut over there. So we're going to go up there and pop it. Let's kind of move this way. Cartographer, so this is going to reveal something. There we go. Alright, so it looks like there's not a lot of ice around us, but, well, I think this is a halfling city, so, you know, they might be worthwhile. We might actually make friends with these guys. Defeat all rivals, there's a bunch of quests, Allied Victory, Master the Seals, Construct the Unity Beacon, and there's a lot of explanations here, so you might want to read them by yourself later on. But I'm not going to read them because this is just a wall of text, and I will be explaining everything as we go. There's an unnecessary bridge here for some reason. Alright, so let's move out. We're going to start the exploration process. So what victory conditions am I going to be going for? Well, I'm most likely going to be either the Unity Beacon thing because it's my favorite, and I might try to occupy some seals, or indeed exploit the fact that the AI loves occupying seals and just try and smash through them as much as possible. What the hell is going on here? Seems to be in an isolated tile. I don't think we can reach that. It's a very strange... It's spawned in a very weird way. It's like in the middle of the ocean. Alright, so we're going to move this way. I just want to reveal the terrain as much as possible. Alright, so a second hero. He's a theocrat and he's a goblin, which is... Oh man, that's not very great. Quite another type of hero. If you don't get something a little bit better, especially, you know, I want a race that can actually withstand snowy regions, and this guy cannot withstand this, as you can see. He is in a disliked terrain, so it's going to give us a lot of penalties later on, which I don't like. Even though he has Throw Curse, this actually would have been quite useful. Maybe I should have killed him. It will give us some experience. Then again, this will also give us, I think, some kind of... yeah, there's going to be a negative alignment, and I actually want to go for the good alignment, because there's apparently a Empire quest, which I've previously discussed in my last playthrough. Where is it? Empire quest. There we go. So if we complete any of these things, I'm not going to be focusing on them too much, to be honest, especially these eternal cities and Heptatopia and all these. I'm just going to go for whatever I want. I might go for the prime good. We could, if we could do a lot of good actions, like making friends with the neutral cities and other empires and such, we might conceivably be able to reach this one. And the prime good units actually synergize pretty well with what we're doing here as the Archdruid. So yeah, all the others are like, having cities from multiple races, 5 of them, which is actually quite difficult to achieve, or 5 cities from the same race. Actually 7, oh wait, this one is 7 towns from whatever race. I see, so this one's kind of interesting. Be the first to construct the Grand Palace, be the first to own a metropolis, which would be great if you have a lot of growth, which could be possible with Archdruid. But I'm not going to do this because we're going to be building a lot of cities, which requires a lot of settlers, which means there's a lot of population to be lost building those settlers. Anyway, we're not going to do that. So where are we going to attack first? Let's see, I do want to attack these guys, hopefully liberate this area. So let's move back. We're going to be back in this area. I will continue to explore in that direction, although it looks like we're in the center of the world here. Yeah, so the world here is not continuous. If you move to the edge, you reach the edge. It's not like Civ 5 or all the other Civ games and such. The world is not a cylinder. I'm going to do a little bit of exploration here, see what we have beyond. There's a bit of a gold pile there, interesting. Can we move further? No. Yeah, these wetlands are going to kick our ass. It's just going to make everything really, really slow. So we need roads here, hopefully. By the way, what kind of spells do we have? We have the Hellhound. That is interesting, actually. So this guy has 12 mana per turn as upkeep. Well, it really depends on what kind of enemies we're going to be fighting soon. If we find ourselves spawning next to a Dreadnought, if we get attacked by a Dreadnought, we might actually mass spawn the Hellhounds. But for now, I'm actually going to wait until we have the wild animals. Hopefully we get a spider out of this. That would help us a lot. Alright, what kind of heroes are I? Oh crap, it's a warlord. Oh, another goblin, are you kidding me? I don't need this. I don't need this at all. What kind of talents do you have? God, this is not going to be very useful, man. You know what? Just go away. Yeah, so we got kind of unlucky with the situation here. I should have checked with the options as something that would allow us to specifically get heroes from our race or from our class, but I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because this is going to be not very comfortable. I don't know. I guess she doesn't have a crossbow. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, heavy crossbow, kind of rare. You don't usually get this. Or maybe all warlord heroes start with it. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, the goblin, I don't know. This is not going to be very useful for us. I mean, they do have blight protection, I guess. Oh man, this is lousy. This is just lousy, you know? Anyway. We're going to make the best of it. We're just going to attack these guys and see what we get. Hopefully we get an Archdruid hero soon. That would be way better. And the thing is, warlords don't even have healing abilities. Why would they give me warlords? That is just ridiculous. And I can't wait. We need heroes as soon as possible. Hopefully he dies. If we manage to actually lose him in a fight, that would be great. I don't need the warlord at all. Alright, so we have a harpoon thrower here. Hopefully we can reach these and shoot them from a distance. Alright, so they do have some protection there. It's fine. Let's see, what kind of abilities do you have? Yeah, and even their abilities are just lousy against these magical units. They don't work. Berserk, Lion's Courage, I guess this one's kind of interesting. Instills a warrior, target friendly unit with +5 strength. Actually not that bad. I wonder if this works on any of these. Actually, it does work. Could use Panic against the Phantasm Warrior. Let's try something else. Maybe Berserk. It also works. That's interesting. You know what? I'm gonna try maybe this. Okay, so he resisted, but thankfully this actually reduced his movement. Can I have a devastating charge against this? Alright, so the Static Shield actually did not stun my unit. That is perfect. Oh, so this guy's a raider. I thought he was a ranged unit. Damn, okay. Let me just turn back. Okay, so this guy cannot reach us, which is good. And there we go. He's dead. So what am I going to do next? Let's see. We're going to try and move this way. Hopefully we can reach this guy. Yes, we can. I'll try and stay away from this guy here. Like so. Ooh, we barely missed. We barely missed actually attacking and sort of killing him. So that's why I'm going to attack with the mammoth and finish him off. Now you will notice that our faction actually has the symbol of our faction is the mammoth foot. So if you wind up having a lot of mammoths and elephants under our control, that would actually be quite thematic. But I prefer spiders, to be honest. They're just way better units, especially if they evolve into like. I mean, come to think of it, if we end up with a lot of mammoths and spiders, our siege combat is going to be just beautiful, just a complete breeze. It's going to make our life a lot easier during siege. And because most of the time in this game, when you're attacking other factions, it's mostly going to be siege, let's be honest. We're just going to outflank him from all directions there. So what am I going to attack next? Let's maybe move this way. There we go. Because you see, spiders and spider queens, they can climb walls, so there's an advantage there. Oh, he's still alive? Seriously? Might use the radar there, just to get rid of it. There we go. So the ice damage is pretty effective against these magical units. So that ended well. We got that out of the way. So as soon as the borders grow, we actually gain extra mana, which is perfect because we're going to be summoning a lot of units. Yeah, we can get this gold pop over there. I don't want to move with this guy too far because there might be some roaming armies and it's kind of annoying. We don't want to get attacked by surprise. There we go. We're going to grab this, move back with the army, and we're done. Hopefully a new hero shows up at some point. Alright, we can research something. Let's go with the hunter. Yeah, we're gonna beeline for the. Actually, after this, we need to research the eldritch animal, which is also a useful spell, and eventually we will go straight to the shaman. And then we're gonna stop and start researching the other stuff, particularly the root spears, because we do need a sort of physical attack or something that we can sort of nail down other blast enemies from a distance. What kind of other spells do we have? I wonder. We do have the Hornet Swarm and the Vengeful Frost. That's actually interesting. So we already have some offensive spell. This one is amazing. Unfortunately, we don't have enough casting points for it, so we do need to research Druidry before we use this. But yeah, I don't usually start with this. This is amazing, actually. 20 blight damage? You're brilliant. If we end up fighting against some kind of high elf empire, that would make things a lot easier. So let's summon a wild animal, see what we get. It's a bit of a coin toss here. Actually, it's more of a roll of a die. I guess this should be our next target here. These dwarves. We could wait for the animal to appear. No. Oh, hey, there's a refugee camp here. Let's grab these. Extra population. Beautiful. So now we can actually build a settler. And that basically is for free. I mean, we just gained a bunch of free population. I mean, the settler itself is not going to cost about... Oh, wait a minute. We can't build a settler yet? Maybe we have to grow first. Yeah, right now it's a village. Once we reach like a city or town size, I think then we can build a settler or something like that. So do I want to go out and explore a little bit more, or do I want to wait a little bit? So these guys have ran out of movement because of all these swamplands here. Might as well move this way. Alright, let's see what we get. Excellent, we have a hunter spider. That is beautiful. I'm gonna shuffle my units around a little bit. Let's see, what kind of units do you have? You already have a male unit, so might as well give you the harpoon thrower. And we're gonna send the spider over to you guys, because this army has the actual Archdruid leader, so hopefully there's a bit of synergy between them. I think eventually she's going to acquire abilities that will buff certain beasts. I think she will get things like Awakened Spirit. You can make your animal stronger, or you can actually get the Befriend animal. And there's a lot of cool, interesting healing abilities that you will get. So which one has the lower movement speed? I think you guys have slightly higher movement. Interesting, there's an obsidian weaver there. We're gonna go straight for the attack. Interesting, I could let them run, and we are playing a sort of good game, and I don't really need the experience. Even though I do want my spider to gain experience. You know what, we'll have plenty of other opportunities. Let's do this instead. We can attack these Draconians, I suppose, although Draconians are kind of dangerous at this point, especially these flamers. Should be a way for us to kill them from a distance. I think our Warlord, you know what, the Warlord might turn out to be useful here. Let's take a look at his spells. He has Lion's Courage, although the spell we're going to be using is most likely going to be Berserk. We're going to force them to sort of attack each other. Intimidation, that kind of works. You know what, Berserk is better. Let's go with Berserk. Now we do need to move this way first. There we go. Actually, there's a mana pop there. Let me grab that. Ooh, look at that. There's an undead spawning ground over here. So we're going to have some kind of ghosts spawning around this area. Which could be unpleasant because they can actually float most of the time. Yeah, there we go. And there's a bridge there. So thankfully, we don't have the rot spell yet, do we? We don't. You know, I just realized these two spells don't work on them because they're immune to blight and they're resistant to frost. So we're gonna have a hard time against these guys, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to hold off attacking them until we actually can do some damage against them. But these Draconians are fair game, so we're gonna jump in and see what we can do. This will be a great opportunity to train our spider. Although I'm afraid that, yeah, this flamer can be quite dangerous and he could pretty much slaughter everyone. No, they're quite surrounded there. I'm going to have to rely on this guy a lot. The good old mammoth. Now, another cool thing about the spider is that the hunter spider is actually my favorite. First of all, it will evolve into a spider queen, and it has phase, which is beautiful. I mean, a spider that can teleport, how cool is that? On the downside, it's actually more fragile. It has lower defense and I think even lower health points. Can we teleport here? Yes, we can. I would have done this, except for the fact that I don't want to throw myself towards the enemy. So I'm going to hold off for a while. And I'm going to try to keep all my soldiers a little bit far from each other. How far can this guy walk? Alright. I think we're going to lose the raider, which is fine. I don't really need the raider too much. He's not a very essential unit, to be fair. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do. If they wind up focusing down one of my units, they might actually be able to kill it. Now, what I'm really worried about is the Draconian Flamer. Yeah, he has these bombs, and they just... because our race has a weakness to fire, yeah. It's actually quite a large weakness. 40% is just huge. Which could be kind of annoying. I would have preferred if that malice was slightly less bad, I guess. I'm going to try and keep our distance away from this guy. Let's see if we can move here. I don't think he'll be able to attack us. Yeah, there we go. This will be good. Alright, so let's go with Berserk. I think I want to Berserk this guy. And he resisted, once again. We could try to immobilize, I suppose. There's a 45% chance. And he was immobilized. Good, so he can't move anymore. But he can still attack, though. Once again, this is going to be a little bit dicey. I want to maintain my distance. I might go around the other way, then. I don't think we can reach him if we move further, and I want to keep my units as far away as from each other as possible so that we don't get... Yeah, because this firebomb is actually an area of effect attack, and it can damage multiple enemies, so in theory you might want to keep them apart. Although this is turning out to be quite costly for us strategically. Let's do this. Let's see what we get. Now, they're all defending, so they should gain a bit of a bonus in defense. Good, they're focusing on the mammoth. Oh my god, look at that damage. That is some ridiculous damage there. So you see, he reduced like half my health points, which is insane. And we're gonna take a lot more damage if we attack right now. Actually, this guy is pretty safe, apparently. You know what? We should be fine. Let's try this. So where do I want to go with this guy? Let's see. I do want to train my spider, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to teleport right here. There we go. And we might as well kill this guy, right? Let's do it. I would have used webbed instead, but this was fine. Devastating charge should be able to just finish him off completely. There we go. So now this hero is in a bit of a distance there. Can we cast anything? Oh, we don't have any casting points, really? Alright, we might as well shoot it from the back then. Would be nice if we can freeze him somehow. And we can't. Of course. It's a good thing we have a second mammoth on standby. And he can deal quite a bit of damage. I'm gonna try and immobilize him, I suppose. Immobilized, good. So he can't move around too much. And I think... Oh, okay, his movement point is complete. It's still full. So I guess that's not ideal. There we go. Alright, so we took a bit more damage than I expected, but this should be fine. And eventually this will make a very good place for expansion, actually. Look at this, so many places for us to occupy. And this one in particular is the one that I'm interested in because it will give us access to... I think there's usually a bunch of animals in there, and hopefully there's maybe like 2 spiders, maybe a boar, so we might be able to control this thing. But before we do this, we actually need a couple of shamans. Oh, you can move back. We're gonna prepare for these fools to move out, so I need to move these guys quickly. So we can build a settler, but we don't have any area ready for expansion yet. It's probably gonna be either here or right here. This probably here because there's a lot more interesting buildings going on here. So what is this exactly? It's an earth node, which is unfortunate because we don't have the earth specialization. Yeah, this seems to be happening quite a lot. I always get these generic mana nodes. They're not elementally aligned. So it's like the game's trying to punish me or something. Where's the fire nodes? Where's the water nodes? And where are the creation nodes? We don't have any. What is this thing? Spring of Life. This is actually pretty cool. Unexplored treasure site. When explored adds 150 population and 50 happiness. Wow, that is amazing. We got the Stables of Vigor. Which is too bad because our faction doesn't really have a lot of mounted units. I don't think we have access to mounted units. There should be some, I suppose. The Warhol gives us access... Yeah, oh, what am I thinking? The Frostling Mammoth Rider, of course. There's probably the only mounted units we have right now. Anyway, let's go for the laboratory. We do want to see extra research. And it's nice that this can be complete in like 3 turns. Yeah, not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Maybe we should summon another animal? You know what? Forget it. We're gonna wait until the city grows and then we have extra mana from the node here. There we go. Making 24. So now we can summon another animal. Hopefully another spider or another reed serpent. A spider would be great. That's really what I want right now. So what am I gonna attack next? There's nothing to conquer there. And these guys are off limits at this point because there's a stupid river in the way. Actually, there's a town down there. And I just noticed there's this goodie hut over there. So let's grab that. You know what? So many wetlands everywhere. Alright, so what are we up against? There appears to be a Mammoth Rider and an Ice Scaper. So yeah, there's only 2 of them. There's probably a third one that is hidden, I believe. Yeah, there's a hidden Frostling Harpoon Thrower. But they should be easy to kill, I suppose. Except for the Mammoth Rider. Dear God, these things are huge. How am I going to kill this thing? I should probably wait for the animal to spawn. Well, you can't move anywhere. Alright, so we got ourselves the first race governance. So how does this work? Actually, let me explain. Let me just go to the Empire screen here. Alright, so the Frostling governance. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I believe you gain experience based on your town's happiness and your population. And every now and then, when you reach every time you reach a level, you can pick one of 2 traits. So here we have the Harpoon Thrower, or we can go for the Economic Frostling Patron. So one of them is military, one of them is economic. And I would have hoped that there were more choices, perhaps. Hopefully there's a mod that comes along that actually does this. But we're not going to be able to do too many harpoon throwers, I suppose, even though that would make them a little bit more tanky. Interesting. But I would much rather gain extra happiness. This will make our cities grow a little bit faster. And, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It will make all the other stuff easier to acquire if we have a lot of happiness, right? I think that's how it works. Yeah. Let's grab this. Alright. What am I going to research next? Let's see. Eldritch Animal. It's only going to take 6 turns, even though I would love to get some root spears. You know what? Let's get the Eldritch Animal. It's fine. Alright, let's see what kind of animal we get here. What is this? Beautiful. A baby reed serpent. Exactly what I was hoping for, besides the spiders. Because this one actually has ranged attack. So now we have 2 evolving units. That is just beautiful. I don't usually get this lucky, to be honest. Anyway, we can start the attack. What odds do we have? Not very good, actually. But you know what? We might lose a single unit. Hopefully it will be a raider. We don't need the raider. I just want to keep the animals alive for as long as possible. Alright, we're gonna wait for them to move first. Alright, I'm just gonna pause the game here for a little bit. I had a bit of a phone call, and I'm back. Let's get into the fight. Let's see what we got. Alrighty, so this guy is a bit of a danger. And we have the Ice Caper here, so we want to either freeze him, which is not possible because they have 100% frost protection. Yikes. Actually, how come they have 100% frost protection? I don't think I have that. Oh, actually, I do. Alright, fine. Oh, there should be some kind of spell we could cast. I assume you have your own casting points? Yes, you do. Good. So this will be helpful. Of course, first thing we gotta do is we're gonna move them here. We're not vulnerable to attack, which is good. Let's see if we can actually berserk them. God damn it, it never works. Well, at least we'll reduce their movement, I suppose. I mean, that's something. So how far can they move? Oh, they can pretty much protect the other units. So... well, can try and freeze this one. Couldn't freeze. Try to immobilize them, maybe? Immobilize, okay, that's fine. Hopefully this winds up killing them. I think we can... there we go. They're dead. Now this spider can actually teleport eventually, and maybe we can web down this mammoth. That's a possibility. Oh, we have a second mammoth there. Let me just move him out. So we can still take a single step here. There we go. Noxious vulnerability would have been great because it will reduce their happiness, I think. Make them a little bit more miserable. Ouch. Oh, if we can web this mammoth down, that would be huge. 50%, this should work. Oh, god damn it. Well, at least we reduce their movement, I suppose. Ouch, that was a lot of damage. Now I believe if we move this way, should be able to shoot this guy. Oh, there we go. Good. mobilization did not work this time. But we can still do some shots. For some reason, their attacks are stronger than mine. I have no idea why. Well, at least we reduced their movement completely. They can't retaliate endlessly, which is good. And we're gonna let the spider do the honor of actually killing him. There we go, gained a level. Lovely. Alright, we didn't lose anyone, surprisingly. Okay, so I have an interesting choice here. I would have liked to increase the border, I suppose. The arena would be interesting. Yeah, now, you know what? We're not going to be building too many infantry units, so let's just go with a wall directly. Excellent. So now we have an extra gold mine under our control, which means more gold. Which means, in theory, we should be able to build more stuff. Alright, this one will be complete soon. And after that, we'll go straight for the henge, maybe? Maybe the shrine? We do need some mana. You know, the shrine would be nice.